Good morning, family. Happy Thursday. It is a beautiful spring day, and today, what better to do than to be in the garden? As you can see, the garden has sprung and things are looking beautiful. Now, as a gardener, some things are moving a little bit slower than I would like, but it's just how the season is rolling. This green stalk has our peppers, and I dropped a tomato in here just for the sake to see how a tomato would grow. Things are growing pretty good in here. I am going to drop a few seeds in the empty holes, but outside of that, you see we do have some peppers are starting to grow and things are looking good. You all came along with me earlier in the season and we grew almost everything from seed in our hydroponic system. These are our beautiful beet greens. They are just gorgeous. And of course, I'll be using those beets in my smoothies. At the bottom of this green stalk, my beans are finally starting to take off and I'm excited about it. And again, in these empty areas, I'm going to be planting seeds because what's the use of wasting space? This area is what I am really proud of. This is my best bed yet. This is my carrot, rutabaga, and potato bed. One day there was nothing, and then the next day it was everything. So I have about 2 to 3 different variety of potatoes. Pretty much the Yukon Golds though in this bed. We have our carrots along the edge, and what I find to be the most gorgeous in this bed are these rutabagas. Can you see them down there? Look how beautiful that is. And when I tell you that they are gorgeous, they are gorgeous. And I'm going to show you exactly the seed that I planted for this rutabaga. It's called a Navon yellow rutabaga. Now, in my family, we did not grow up eating rutabagas, and most of my siblings still do not. But I have my mom's pastor, Eric Jerome, they did a meal for 1 year for Mother's Day. And he claimed that he cooked the rutabagas. And so I tried them and they were awesome. So I said, you know what? If they were that awesome, let me see how great they are if I grow them myself. So, of course, that's what I'm doing. On the edge of each bed, you'll see this year I have changed things up. I am growing a pumpkin at the edge of each bed. And what I'm going to let those pumpkins do, I'm just going to let them drape out into the pathways of the garden. So here I have a Gerondale pumpkin, but here I have my North Georgia candy roaster. And you guys know that I am famous for my North Georgia candy roaster. I discovered the seed probably about 3 years ago, and I've been growing it ever since, maybe 4 years ago, and I've been growing it ever since. I just cannot resist. It is an amazing gourd, pumpkin, squash, whatever you want to, whatever category you want to put it in. It's just amazing because it stores for 9 months. They can, I mean, I'll go back through my pictures and see if I have any pictures for any newbies, but I've grown some that were this long and they have your whole garden smelling like sweet cantaloupe. They take a while to mature and grow, but once they mature and grow, you can keep them in a dark cabinet for 9 months. So guys, if you're looking for a staple to put into your garden that will feed your family for quite a while, do it. I have sauteed them, steamed them, and made them into muffins and into pies. So it is a staple that can not only be made sweet, but it can be made savory as well. And again, if you are looking for something in your in your garden that can be a staple crop, that is something great to have. In this bed, which is very slow growing, we have tomatoes growing in here. They're going to grow up this side of the trellis. And on that side, we have our Wind Down Wednesday Challenge 2026 cucumbers. I have a patio snacker there. And then I planted a Japanese variety of cucumber as well as a bait alpha cucumber just this morning. We have some basil, some cilantro. Now, we did have to check with Bonnie to get that cilantro, because when I put my cilantro out that I grew from seed, it did not fare well. Once it left the hydroponic system and brought it out to the garden, it didn't last long at all. So, of course, I had to go and purchase some. I do not eat cilantro. I have the gene that makes the cilantro taste like soap, but it is a good deterrent for bugs. And of course, you'll see that I always have onions and garlic surrounding each one of my beds. So that is that. Here we have our hibiscus, and I talk about this plant because I bought it at the clearance aisle in 2019, and I planted it, and every year it has done beautifully for me. Again, I bought it on the clearance, and every year I love on it and it loves me back. But this year I was able to put it inside of a planter, and it's being surrounded by garlic. So I got this garlic from growing out the box, just like the garlic I have over there, and then I have some random garlic planted throughout. My brassica bed is doing pretty good, but when spring first sprung, the sun was beaming, and so that beautiful plant there that has gone to seed is broccoli, and it is actually called sprouting broccoli, but it's not supposed to sprout like that. So what I'm doing is I'm just letting it have its way, and since that'll be the brassica bed, if it drops seeds in there, that's great. I will have more sprouting broccoli. The Swiss chard is absolutely gorgeous. The kale and the collards are doing great, and my candy roaster. I do have some Pablo lettuce here. It has not gone to seed, and it's not bitter just yet, but it's getting there. So it needs to be picked. It needs to be eaten. I have another one that has gone to seed, and I'm just leaving it into the garden, and it's just going to compost itself there. This morning I did come in and I dropped some more seeds. I dropped some Boston Bib lettuce, as well as I think tennis ball lettuce maybe, but I just did a little trench and I dropped some seeds there. We have our watermelon for the Watermelon Wars with Broke Farmer and David Corey with the crop. Now, Broke talks trash about my watermelons because they are growing a little slow, but nonetheless, I'm growing the infamous Charleston Gray variety. So I know that everything is going to be good, but this is the area that I'm going to use this year for, excuse me, I'm giving you whiplash here, but this is the area that I'm going to use for the watermelon area. And that's why I put these pansies here, because I want to be able to draw the bees into this area. And I had a few extra tomatoes that I had in my hydroponic system, Paul Robeson and a Cherokee Purple. And I planted them over here with some basil in between the two of them. So let's see how that turns out. I have beans kind of sporadically placed all over the garden area, but that's pretty much it. And of course, you guys have seen numerous times my kitchen garden, so I think everybody should have a kitchen garden. During the spring and summer, all the way into the fall, I very rarely have to go into the store and buy herbs because I have them in my kitchen garden. Right now, I have a ton of mint in here and hostas, but I usually have lemon thyme and oregano in here as well, which I need to go back in and plant. Usually they come back every year, but this year I have not seen the lemon thyme and the oregano come back unless it's just taking its time popping back up. But I have garlic in here. I have lemon thyme, oregano, and of course mint. And you see that my mint has a brown stem because it is chocolate mint. It is the absolute best. I use it in teas. I use it, you can make a deterrent for bugs with it as well, but the majority of the time I use it in my drinks. Anything that I'm drinking, ice cold or hot, in my hot teas, I always have a big bunch of mint in there. And again, if my oregano and thyme does not pop back up soon, I'm gonna have to come out here and drop a seed because I need those as well, and sage. So sage is usually planted in a different area of my garden because I use a lot of it. Again, I did have some that I grew from seed. It did not work out, so I may have to check with Bonnie and get a couple of plants, but we will see. Again, we're always dropping seeds over here. I absolutely like to grow from seed, so it is the best for me. But guys, thank you for walking along, coming along with me this morning as we did our little mini spring garden tour. As always, get up, get out, and grow something. Guys, this is the time in our world, the time in our lives where growing something means something. So if you have a small pot, as you can see, I have this little white pot, which is where I'm going to be planting sweet potatoes soon. But if you have a pot, if you have a green stalk where you can grow vertically, try it, do it, grow one thing, grow the thing that you like the most, and tell me about it. Tell me if it tastes different. Tell me how it made you feel to get out and get a little sun from time to time. You know, that little extra vitamin D without taking a pill. So thank you again for coming along with me today, and I appreciate you guys. Remember, like, share, subscribe. I'm always here for you.